It was just past 2 a.m. when Officer Daniel Reyes received the call. The dispatcher's voice crackled over the radio. "Unit 12, we've got a 911 call. No voice, just static. The location is 37 Hollow Creek Road." Daniel froze. That address hadn't come up in years. Hollow Creek Road was barely a road anymore, just an overgrown path leading to a decaying house everyone in town avoided. "Did you say 37 Hollow Creek?" he repeated, already knowing the answer. "Affirmative," the dispatcher replied. "The call came in from a landline. Number matches the old registry." Daniel stared at the empty road ahead. The Hollow Creek property had been abandoned since the early 90s. Rumor was a family had lived there, until one night they didn't. No one knew for sure what happened, just whispers of a violent tragedy and a sealed police report that no one ever reopened. Still, a call was a call. Daniel flipped on his headlights, turned down the radio, and started down the gravel path. The road narrowed as trees closed in around him. His cruiser bounced over roots and potholes until the beams of his headlights landed on the house. It looked even worse than he remembered. The wooden siding was weather-beaten and peeled away in places. The windows were covered in grime, the front door slightly ajar, creaking in the wind. Daniel stepped out, leaving the car running. The silence around him was unnatural. No insects, no wind, just a heavy stillness. He radioed in. "Dispatch, I'm on site at Hollow Creek. I'll investigate on foot." "Copy that," the dispatcher answered. "Be careful, Dan." He pushed the front door open, flashlight in one hand, the other resting on his holstered weapon. The air inside was thick with dust and decay. Rotten floorboards groaned beneath his boots. "Police," he called out. "Is anyone here?" No answer, just static from his radio. And something else. A soft sound, almost like whispering. He swung his flashlight toward the staircase. It was faint, but there. Voices. Not one, but many. Too quiet to understand, too many to ignore. He moved forward cautiously. The whispering stopped. In the living room, the remains of furniture sat under white sheets, yellowed and brittle with age. On the far wall hung a family portrait, a man, a woman, and two young children. Their faces were blurred with mold and water damage, but their eyes looked painted on, too real. Suddenly, the radio on his shoulder hissed loudly. "Unit 12, static, they're not gone." Daniel jumped, grabbing the radio. "Dispatch, say again?" Static. Then silence. The flashlight flickered. He slapped it. Nothing. The living room lights blinked once, dim and sickly yellow, then died completely. Then the whispering returned, closer. He turned back toward the hallway and saw a shadow move. Not walk, glide, across the far end, disappearing behind a doorway. He should have left. Every instinct screamed at him to go, but duty pulled him forward. He reached the doorway and stepped into the kitchen. Time had stopped here. Plates still sat on the table, covered in mold and dust. Chairs overturned. The landline phone sat off the hook, its light blinking. The same phone that had made the call. He picked it up. Static. And then a voice. "Help us." It was a child's voice, weak, frightened. "Who is this?" Daniel asked. "They won't let us leave," the voice whispered. "They're still here." Suddenly, a loud crash came from upstairs. Daniel dropped the phone and turned toward the staircase. The air grew colder with every step. His breath turned to fog. The top floor was dark. As he reached the hallway, his flashlight came back to life, flickering weakly. Every door was open, except one, at the very end. Scratched into the wood of that door were the words, "Don't open, ever." The whispering grew louder, overlapping voices, layered and panicked. Daniel reached for the knob. His hand shook. Then, silence again. For a moment, all he heard was his heartbeat. He opened the door. Inside was a child's bedroom, untouched by time. Toys on the floor, stuffed animals on the bed, drawings on the walls. Then he saw them. 4 figures. A man, a woman, and 2 children, standing in the corner, staring at him. Their skin was pale, eyes black, mouths slightly open, whispering, though no sound came. Daniel stepped back. The door slammed shut behind him. He turned, but the door was gone. Only a wall. He reached for his radio. "Dispatch, I'm in the house. Something's wrong. I'm trapped." Static. And then, they took the last officer too. It wasn't the dispatcher's voice. It was his own.
There are more stories waiting in the dark. Don't forget to subscribe.